Hey guys, today I'm going to be making whole wheat hamburger buns. Ingredients for this is 4 cups of whole wheat flour, a teaspoon and a half of salt, 1/4 of a cup of butter melted, 2 eggs, 1 to go into the dough, 1 for brushing the rolls on top, 1/4 a cup of sugar, 1 package of dry active yeast, 1/2 a cup of warm water, and 1 cup of milk at 110 degrees temperature. And for this, you don't need a hand mixer. I'm just going to knead it with my hands. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to activate our yeast. So I've already warmed up my milk to 110, and then I'm gonna put in the warm water, 1/2 a cup of warm water, and then the butter, which is a 1/2 stick of butter. It goes in. And then the sugar, it's 1/4 a cup of sugar going in. Just gonna give it a stir. Oh, and I forgot to say sesame seeds, that's gonna go on top of our buns. Okay, I'm gonna add in the yeast and I'm gonna stir it in, and then I'm gonna set it aside for 5 minutes so that the yeast can activate. Okay. Just set it aside for 5 minutes. While you're letting your yeast activate, you can get your 4 cups of, we're using whole wheat flour today, and a teaspoon and a half of salt, and just mix it together real good so that you don't have your clumps of salt anywhere in your buns that we're making today. Okay, so as you can tell, my yeast has risen quite a bit. I'm going to give it a stir and add in the egg. And then I'm gonna put this mixture into my flour mixture. I'm gonna use this little stick, and then when it gets close to almost dough, I'm gonna switch over and use my hands, and then I'm gonna dump it out on my countertop, and I'm gonna knead it for 10 minutes. When you're mixing your dough, and if you can see that it's still way too wet, you just get a touch more flour and just do a small amount at a time, because you can put in but you can't take out. So we're just gonna work this in. Okay, so once it gets to a consistency where it's all combined, I'm going to flour my working surface, and I'm going to dump it out and knead the dough for 10 minutes. This is the same method that I used in my oatmeal bread recipe. The kneading is, once you get that down, you can use it for everything that you make. Rolls, breads, buns, all of it. So push it down, try to get the sticky off your hand. And then if you put flour on your hands, it kind of helps from sticking. So kind of fold it in half, push it with your palm, rotate it, pull it back with your fingers. Okay, I'll show it to you in slow motion. So you push it in half with your fingers, push it out with your palm, rotate. So I'm gonna knead this for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna use this method, and then like I showed you in the bread one, when my arm starts to get tired, I'm gonna use the motion, that's the X motion, and then we'll see you back in 10 minutes. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and I kneaded my dough. As you can see, it bounces back and it's not sticky anymore. So you just wanna shape it into a ball and get a large bowl and put some olive oil or oil around it. Put your dough ball in, flip it around, because you want to get the oil on the dough, because this is gonna rise and you don't want it to stick to the sides of your bowl. And you're gonna cover it and let it rise for an hour. Okay guys, it's been an hour. So my bread has risen, and I'm gonna punch it down. And I used whole wheat flour, so it's not as puffy as the regular all-purpose flour, but it's okay. And now I'm gonna shape it back into a ball, because I'm making whole wheat hamburger buns. And this will make, it should make about 8 of them, but we're gonna see. So if you want them exactly equal, use the kitchen scale, measure them out. I'm just gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna cut them in half. Oops. I don't like that thing. Use my other knife. Cut it in half. And then cut them in half. We're gonna shape them in just a minute. Okay, so we got our 8. And these, I'm going to shape them into balls again. And then I'm gonna set them aside and let them rise for another 30 minutes. So they can get a, you know, hamburger size. And I use my hands to push it down, and then I pinch it. So push it down and pinch it with your thumb, and then you kind of make like a claw, and you can round it if you want perfectly round ones. I don't always get perfectly round ones, but that's part of being rustic and homemade. It's not perfect. So you use your thumb and pinch it all together, and then roll it out. And the more you make dinner rolls, bread, buns, the faster you will get at it. It just takes practice. So, oh, this is gonna be a big one. And then, if you wanted to just use regular flour, the white all-purpose flour, you could do that too. Same recipe, just switch off the flour. Just got a few more. And if you have helpers in the kitchen, sometimes my kiddos like to get in here and help me just because they like the way the dough feels. Divvy it out, it'll go by faster. That's what we do during Thanksgiving when we're making dinner rolls too. Last one. So I kind of put them on a tray. You can tell they are not the same size, which is totally fine. My hamburger patties are not gonna come out the same size either. I'm gonna put them a little close to each other because I do want them to get when they rise again, they will almost touch. And then when I bake them, they will be touching, and then when I pull them apart, they're gonna have that crease between them, almost like a store-bought bun. And they'll look professional. That guy's big. That's okay. So you're gonna take your kitchen towel and you're gonna let them rise again for another 30 minutes. And we'll be back. It's been 30 minutes and my, ta-da, my rolls have risen. So I have my oven set to 375, and be very, very gentle with these bad boys because you don't wanna punch them down like we did the first step. But I am actually giving it an egg wash, and it's just gonna brown the top of my buns. And then I'm gonna put some sesame seeds on half of them because not all of the people in the house prefer sesame seeds. And see where they're touching? When I pull them apart, it's gonna give them that crease, and I kind of like the crease because it looks professional. Okay, so now I'm gonna do just a little bit on these 4. I'm just gonna put some sesame seeds if I can. All right, and they are going in the oven at 375 for about 18 minutes. Oh, hot. This is after 18 minutes at 375 in the oven. They came out gorgeous. There's 8. I am at a high altitude. I can't remember. I'm in New Mexico, in Albuquerque, so you may have to cook yours a few more minutes. I would go anywhere from 18 to 22 minutes, wherever you are. Just make sure you keep an eye on them. They're really hot, but I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about when you pull them apart. They get the crease. Oh, see, I like that because it makes it look like it was from a package. So next video is hamburgers, and I'm gonna show you how to slice them open and use them in hamburger buns. Thank you, enjoy.